Hi, everybody. Happy Sunday morning. Today is Sunday, June 28th, and it is just about 11 a.m. We have a live coffee hour today at Gals, Ghosts, and Ladies, and we have a special guest joining us in a little while. Our good friend Christy Parrish is going to join us and tell us what she's up to. Now, some of you may notice I don't have my gal's background. I am in studio, Lizzie Lou Studio. I'm definitely in studio, but I have a different green screen today, and this kind of um, fits with the theme of our show today. So let's take a look. Also, again, I apologize for my microphone. I am waiting for a new one. You know that. I don't know what the delay is, but I'm waiting for a new one. So I hope you can hear me all right. Good morning, Sue. Good morning, Kathy, and Nathan. Good morning, everybody. Let's see. So I don't know about you all. I'm sure that some of you all are feeling like I am. My butt is dragging this morning. We had a late night last night. It was a very fun night. We went to Middleborough Town Hall, and we had a gallery reading from Scott Allen and Gregory Nicholas. And I had seen Scott before, and I love his style. Never seen Greg before. Liked his style. Excuse me, I gotta pull my chair up. Oh, and Kathy Marandino. Good morning. Kathy's one of my Bristol peeps. I went to high school with Kathy. Um, so it's just so, and Erin is my adopted gal. Sorry, Erin. I hope you're not offended by that, but that's how I feel. I'm just so glad that everybody's here. And Jeff will be in and out this morning too. Jeff, always a pleasure to have you. And one of these days, Jeff, we're going to get you on the show. And we're going to do an interview and a chat with you. I really look forward to that and hearing more about your experiences. But for everybody who's joining us this morning, I hope you have a cup of coffee. I do. And tell me, what is in your coffee cup? Today, I've just got regular old coffee with cream and extra sugar because my doctor said I'm not pre-diabetic enough. So 2 sugars in my coffee to get me going. LOL. And good morning, Dan and Bruce. Good morning, Bruce. Me and you are going to be chatting offline this week, and you know it, buddy. And Aaron, thank you for not minding. And Kathy, good for you not having sugar in your coffee. I am jealous. I'm jelly. Because I think that I have a little coffee with my sugar and cream. So Jeff, I'm going to take that thumbs up as you agreed to be on my show. You all heard it here. So now I'm going to do something really weird, and this is going to sound really bizarre. I'm going to do it now while it's fresh in my mind because it's actually not written down on my list. So I'm going to make a declaration, and it is not a joke. It is very serious. And so as Nathan's having his black coffee and Sue is having her coffee with coconut milk and everybody else is having their coffee and the Reverend Mark is hopefully having some coffee too, I would like you all to please hear my declaration. And that is today on this date, June 28th, 2026 at 11:03 a.m. I do by common law claim ownership of Lizzie Lou Studio, the name Lizzie Lou Studio. And I also, on this date and this time, claim Commonwealth ownership to the name of Gals, Ghosts, and Ladies. Period. So I am putting an underline under that, or putting whatever the expression is. I own Gals, Ghosts, and Ladies under common law in Massachusetts, and I own the name Lizzie Lou Studio by common law in Massachusetts. Now, if we go outside of Massachusetts and anybody else owns those names, we will have to battle it out in court legally. But for my purposes and what I'm trying to do every day and working very hard, what I have, the declaration I've just made is legal. And Lizzie Lou Studio, I own that name, and Gals, Ghosts, and Ladies, I own that name under common law. And I make that declaration on this date at 11:03 a.m. So thank you all very much for bearing with me while I do that. Thank you, everybody. And I did some research on that, and eventually I'm going to have the money to copyright and trademark and all of that. But for the sake of protection, there are absolutely ways around that. And one of them was just that declaration declaration. And Kathy, thank you for witnessed. This is being recorded. This is going to be on the internet forever. So, and it's date and time stamped. So thank you for bearing with me when I did that, because I just wouldn't want somebody to take what we're working so hard for and turn it into something else. I don't know. Yes, Nathan, and the legal stuff out of the way. And Nathan, you will see that tonight. Nathan and Sue and Kerry and I and Christy, our guest today, we have a little thing going on later. We're going to be filming an episode of The Walk. And Nathan, you'll see, I have a document. I have a legal document for the places that we go that people have to sign for. I mean, we really covered our bases here. I feel we did. I'll talk more about the walk later. But thank you all for witnessing my declaration, and it is legal and it is binding. So thank you for that. I feel really kind of good about that. So let's see, on to other things. So like I said, my tail is dragging this morning because we did go to Middleborough Town Hall last night. Very fun night. Always good to see everybody. Candace and Derek, always a pleasure to see them, and Sue and Nathan and Sybil. I hadn't seen Sybil in forever, and Christy was there too, so we had a lot of fun. But now I'm going to get into my housekeeping. Let's see. Anybody who's watching now on Facebook and YouTube, you have no idea how much I appreciate you. Thank you very, very much. Stick with us. We do have bigger things coming. Nathan, bring your pen. That's right. So please like us, follow us, and share. We really appreciate that. Oh, good morning, Kerry. Good morning. I'll be seeing Kerry later on today as well. And also I'm going to be sharing, let's see, you're going to find some links in comments. Please check them out. The links in comments, let's see, we're going to talk about them in order. Or in the order I want. So the first link we're going to talk about is if you are interested in scheduling a walkthrough with Christy Parrish. I will post this later. But there is our YouTube channel. We have a dedicated YouTube channel. We have, and there it is again, and we have a dedicated Facebook page. So please go follow, like, share. We're starting to post teasers. I'm going to share a teaser with you a little bit later, an interview with somebody whose house that we did a walkthrough of. And let's see. And then I want to get to two other things. So I'm being serious before we jump into the kind of lighter stuff. So I got my nails done the other day. I went to K-Nail Spa, and sometimes Cara, my nail girl, jumps in. So Cara, if you're watching, hello. But while I was getting my nails done Friday, they had lovely music playing, but there was also a big screen TV, and we were, me and other ladies getting their nails done, and we were watching the TV. And the recovery efforts for the earthquake in Venezuela came on, and it took my breath away. We watched rescuers pull a live baby out of the rubble, alive. By all appearances, not a scratch on this baby. And I'm goosebumps telling you that. Please keep the people of Venezuela in your prayers. And Christy is in the green room now. So, Christy, thanks for joining. We'll be meeting with you shortly. So again, please keep the people of Venezuela in your thoughts and in your prayers. They really, really need it right now. What we were watching in the nail salon was just miraculous. It wasn't just the baby being pulled from the rubble. We were watching miraculous recoveries, and thank goodness. But with those kind of recoveries, you know that there's going to be some bad things that happen too. So like I said, please keep the people of Venezuela in your prayers. The other thing, this is something that I never, ever do. And some of you know me. Recently, I kind of complained that there was this celebrity, his brother's dog got sick, and the celebrity asked for people to donate for the brother's dog. And I got pissy about it. Well, I'm not a celebrity and I don't have a lot of money, but I will tell you this. Some of you all think you're my number one fan. Kathy Ferrara, you think you're my number one fan. Lisa Aubie, you think you're my number one fan. You're not. This is my number one fan. This is Dixie Lou Who, okay, and she belongs to my good friend Mark Ramponi, or as you hear me call him, the Reverend Mark sometimes. And I know Dixie personally, not just from photos, but I've visited her many times, and Mark always sends me pictures of her literally watching my live streams. And Dixie is just one of those very, very exceptional dogs. Dixie had a stroke yesterday, and my good friend Mark is just a decent, hardworking man, and he has no idea that I've done this. but I have set up a GoFundMe. If you could please go to that GoFundMe and donate $5, $2 to, I'm setting up a fund to collect, I'm hoping to raise $1,000 to be able to present to Mark for care funds for Dixie. And if you can't donate, that's fine too. But if you can, we really appreciate it. This is not going to be a long, year-long campaign. I'm hoping for $1,000. I'll take 50. I know I donated 20. A good friend of mine already donated 20. Anything you can give. And if you can't give any money, please give your time by donating a prayer. Donating a prayer so that that Dixie Lou Who has a speedy recovery. She is an exceptional dog that belongs to an exceptional human being. And I think that we can be good friends here and help out. I do not usually ask for money. I am not asking for money for myself, and this is something that you won't see me doing again anytime soon. And I have my favorite charities, and I don't consider Mark a charity. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that his dog got sick very suddenly and may need some aftercare. So anything that you can do to donate so that Dixie Lou Who might get some aftercare is much, much appreciated. And again, Mark has absolutely no idea that I've done that. So I just did. You can find that link on my Facebook page. Thank you in advance. And again, if you can't donate money, please donate your time by saying a prayer. So I just wanted to say that. Let's see. What do we got for comments going on? Let's see. Yes, Mark, let's see. I mean, if there's already money in that GoFundMe, Mark, and if another penny goes in there, well, there's a couple bucks in there. So, and Kara, there is Kara. Right here, this is Kara, my nail technician that did this beautiful, beautiful job on my nails. But like I said, I was in the nail salon and was very, very moved with all the other people in the nail salon at the recovery efforts going on in Venezuela. So we're going to have a show where we're going to talk about some really fun and exciting stuff and hobbies and ghost hunting and all that kind of stuff. But let's not forget in the background that life does go on and that serious things do need attention. So while we are having a good time, let's keep all that stuff in mind. Let's see, what else do I want to say? I want to remind everybody that we are an 18 and over space. Sometimes I'm a little disturbed that we're not more disturbed by the disturbing things that we talk about, okay? Also want to let everybody know that this is a 420 friendly space. Smoke them if you got them, because I know I sure did. And also, Sunday morning coffee hour, there are no judgments about what's in your coffee cup, okay? No judgments from me, okay? Especially if you're not driving, okay? So, and also, like I always do, got to give a shout out to Ladybug Pest Control, my day job, and Linda O'Brien Lindsay, my boss and my friend. She is so supportive of all my hobbies, and we're going out to film an episode of The Walk tonight. I'm going to be a little tired in the office tomorrow, and I know this in advance. So I always have to say thank you to Ladybug. And also, if you're local to the Quincy area and you need pest control, give us a call. I'll be in the office tomorrow from 7:30 to 3:30. Give us a call and we can set something up. Jessica, I'm glad you're here. Isn't it funny how things work out? I told you I had not sent your deck of tarot cards out, and it's a good thing because I had thrown the wrong ones in my bag. So when I was getting my work bag ready today, I realized I had the wrong ones. So it's a good thing I didn't send it out. So this week I'll send out the right one. Jessica was our Jeopardy winner last week, and I've got more Jeopardy in the works, so I'm really looking forward to that. But anyways, so that's kind of all the housekeeping, just checking in. And like I said, I do hope that you like the background. This is kind of as a kind of honor to the walk, what we're going to talk about. Let me turn my note page and say that we do want to, I'm going to bring Christy on. Christy, good morning.
Well, hi, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm still asleep. It was a long night last night, and I'm sure I got eye boogers and everything else going on. So, hey, it is what it is. Y'all get all of it.
I think half the group that's watching right now was with you last night, myself included. So, yeah, so it's a lot of coffee, a lot of makeup, a lot of gumption, and definitely a nap this afternoon.
It's gonna be a hell of a day for us. It's gonna be a
It
very
is.
long day for us today. And so after I get off of here, I'm gonna take a nap.
Yeah, me
And
too, for
I'm
sure.
gonna just shut off everything and just kind of regroup.
I love your shirt, by the way. I love your shirt.
Well, it's true. I mean, I do want the couch. This is my lazy Sunday shirt. So yeah.
But only lazy to a certain time because we've got things to do. But
It comes off in about 4.5, 5 hours, and we're off to the races.
you know what I'm going to do, Chrissy? I'm going to post. Let's see if I can get the comments up here so that
Okay.
show comments on stage. You can see people are saying good morning. Carrie, I'm going to ask you to step into your usual mod role and say good morning to everybody. Folks, if you get a good morning from Carrie or previously possessed painted furniture, please know that Carrie is a steward of the walk. She is camera number 2. She is Commando Carrie. And if she is commenting and welcoming you, she is absolutely acting on behalf of the walk.
Let's
So
make sure that we're very clear about this. Carrie's going to comment back to you, but I'm pretty sure she's not going to be commando for this part.
maybe we'll never know.
Well, I think we're going to find out eventually. It's just going to take some time after that last incident. So there it is.
Guys, head over to Facebook and watch that clip. I was going to post it here and I said, no, I can't do that to Carrie, but head over to Facebook. Where
No,
was that? I have a link. No, don't.
so I called Carrie before I posted it. I said, Carrie, I giggled so hard when that happened today that I almost peed my pants there for a second. But I said, look, this is honest and this is raw. And this is kind of how we are. Let's share this. And she said, you know what? Okay. She watched the clip. I said, I'm going to post it out. If you're good with it and your husband's not going to get upset, let's just post it out and let's just let people see Commando Carrie.
And this is where you can find the clip.
Yes.
At the Walk with Christy on Facebook. And Carrie, what a good sport you are, and definitely a lot of laughs. But that's not all you're going to find on our Facebook page at the Walk with Christy. And also, not just that, we've also got where's the YouTube? We also have a dedicated YouTube page, the Walk with Christy Parrish, and now we have a dedicated email, the Walk with Christy Parrish at gmail.com.
Yeah.
Please follow, like, subscribe. We're starting to post teasers and that kind of thing. So, Christy, I definitely want to talk with you about the walk. But first, I do want to ask you because I think the couple of questions that I have for you are just going to get us to how did we get to the walk? But starting with this, how did your passion for the paranormal turn into projects of restoration and giving voice to the past, not just wanting to be, we all want to be a paranormal investigator. How did you turn that passion into something that gives back?
Well, that's actually a really good question that nobody has ever asked me before, Jennifer, which is surprising. As many times as I've talked about it, nobody's put it to me quite like that.
Thank you.
So thank you for stumping me right off the bat. That's
It's actually, Christy, before you signed on, we said it's not gals, it's the Stump Christy hour.
this is actually, you did mention this might be a little bit more complicated than your typical podcast, Christy. But I'm going to say to this question, the thing that really was my draw was my ability to be able to relate to the location. I never felt like anybody gave me a chance to be myself, to grow, to flourish, and things like that. And when I walked into these buildings, I started feeling that they needed a voice. This is my voice with what we're doing. And the projects that I work on is their voice. So I'm kind of that person that if I walk into your location and the location really needs people to listen, then I'm your girl. I'm going to make sure people kind of, lean over with their ears open, kind of hear what you have to say. And the beautiful part of it all is that some much needed repair and love goes into the structures to help build them strong again. So I'm very proud of the work that I've done over the many years with there's a lot of different locations. Oliver is the one that stands out the most to people because that's what I'm known for. But it's been others here and in the South.
Well, we definitely know you from others as well around here. I have a term I use. I call it the local like circuit. Really, it's a group of kind of regular people that go to these regular local places. But I really
Yep.
appreciate, Christy, what I really take away from you in paranormal investigating is like I said, it's like, yay, paranormal investigating. I love it. But turning that passion into a way to give back and preserve history and give voice to things that may need to be said. So thank you for really kind of putting that kind of light on. Everybody wants to be a TV star. Not everybody is about giving back and giving voice to the past. So again, thank you for that. Do you, for yourself, do you consider that you have any area of expertise or certain type of specialty, or is one of the clairs your specialty, or what do you think?
I don't know. And that's the beauty of it all. It's all misunderstood. It has been forever. There's so many different types of things that I can do, from psychometry to audience to voyance. I don't know. I'm just kind of a mix. I wouldn't say I'm a master at what I do, but some people arguably will say, actually, she could be a master level. I'm just Christy at the end of the day. And I just want to be myself. I want to share the world that's kind of special to me in that way with others. Maybe along the way, I'm going to help people and places.
You've certainly garnered an enthusiasm amongst a certain group of people, and I think you know who I'm talking about. Like, it's like we've got a bandwagon now. It's almost like geese. We're all like this family of geese walking across the street. But
Yeah.
you really attracted. I feel like you've attracted a certain amount of people who have a similar heart as you. It's again,
It's all about this at the end of the day. It's all about following your heart, doing what you feel is right, what feels most natural to you. And in this particular case with the walk, it's kind of going against the grain of those that tell you this is not happening, this isn't real, it's all in your head, going against the grain and kind of showing them once and for all this does happen. And that's the real goal behind the walk.
I think the other thing is that you're going to see that the walk shows that this does happen, and it's not just all bump in the night. This happens in the daytime, not
Yes.
just seeing things out of the corner, but feelings and shared experiences with family members. There's so much more to it. Like we like to say, the walk. This is not a paranormal investigation. It's
It's
just there are paranormal investigative elements to what we're doing, but it's not a paranormal investigation. So I've got to jump right in because really we are here to talk about the walk. So thank you so much for sharing your passion, Christy, and kind of telling us how this led you to want to give the voice and share these memories and help people. It's brought us to this moment here where we are at the walk. We are, what are we in, 5 episodes deep now? I'm looking at my computer going 5 episodes deep. I've only edited 1 episode. I'm not done with it. And so much more to come. I'm overwhelmed and thrilled at the same time because this is really a dream come true. I'm going to say how I got involved with the walk. I was at work one day at Ladybug Pest Control and a cell phone rang
Yeah.
Um, and I said hello, and Christy said, Jennifer, I've been thinking, you know how you follow me around with the camera? And before it was even out of her mouth, I said, yes, whatever it is, yes. And she said, well, how? Let me finish. She goes, now that you follow me around with a camera up my butt all the time, she goes, I've got an idea. Let's put that to use.
Yeah.
And she laid it out, and I was in from, like I said, before the words even came out of her mouth. So the next exciting step for us was that we set up a walk at Kristen's, and you're going to see a clip from Kristen very shortly. But we set up a walk at Kristen's, um, and Kristen. It so turns out that Kristen's sister is Carrie, our dear friend
Yeah.
Carrie, at previously possessed painted furniture, and also Commando Carrie, the one and only.
Yeah.
So she's Kristen's sister. So she's like, Carrie, you've got to come with us, you know. So Carrie came, and I think probably about, we were out of the car for about 30 seconds, and Christy and I both realized that thank God Carrie was here because we needed that. We could have used two more people, but Carrie was, without intentionally planning it, Carrie became that third vital. Now we've learned the three of us can go and do this. The three of us can in a big place or a small place, but we definitely need help, and we're bringing in some other folks starting tonight. But like I said, 30 seconds out of the car, and so we never could have done this without Kerry. So the next morning, Monday morning, Christy called me at work, and she goes, I think we need to have Kerry come with us every time. And I said, I agree. And then we asked Kerry, and she said yes. And then by like the second or third episode, Christy called me while I was at work on a Monday morning.
I love to talk to you at work. That's the thing that keeps rolling here.
I'm
These are
detecting a pattern here. So, but these calls come. Note that these calls are coming after we do so. So we're living and learning each episode. But the
Yeah.
last call was, Jennifer, you need an assistant. And I said, yeah, we do. We really do. So we threw some names out there, and we've got Kelly, and we've got Sue, and we've got Nathan, and we know who our FOW, Friends of the Walk, are. And there's going to be, I'm sure, a regular rotation of some regular faces showing up here and learning your cues.
Mhm.
So we've really evolved into quite a team here, and I'm really looking forward to what's coming next as our team does evolve. And I can't say anything about where we're going tonight, because part of the walk is that people contact me. I'm the location coordinator. People contact me. I set it up. I work with Kerry or Sue and Nathan, and they know the details of where we're going,
Mhm.
but Christy doesn't.
No.
Now she may know the person who's been in touch with me. She may know whether it's a commercial or residential space, but she doesn't know the details. And when we're able to not tell her, this is going to be our second blindfolded episode. Christy is going in blindfolded, because if we drove her up to this place, she would see it and know it exactly what it is. So the other exciting thing about this place where we're going, it has only had one paranormal investigation, and that was by Sue and Nathan and myself. So this is, I think it's
Can't
pretty.
possibly have things going on there, right?
Well, well, we'll let you be the judge of that, because that's what this is all about.
Yeah.
So also a little bit about the walk. Christy is the producer and the director, and I am the co-producer, and I am the technical director. I am the technical director. Chrissy is the producer and director, in that this is 100% her vision. I consider myself a producer because it's all my toys. So that's how I get to go out. It's all of my toys, but I'm also securing the locations, which is and doing the pre and post interviews, and passing off the SD cards and all that. So very much a producer, but technical director. I feel that my role is to facilitate what Christy has said her vision is. So I will produce and direct to reach Christy's final vision. So that's my role under Christy's
Yeah.
supervision, Christy's production and direction.
Yeah.
Um, and then I think, I don't think we have a hierarchy, but going from there, and then I think that's just kind of me. And Carrie will tell you, me going, giving all these little hand signals about what to do and where to go with the camera so we don't interfere with Christy's walk. But we're getting a flow. We're getting a flow. So,
And I gotta just jump in here and say something about your hand signals and things like that. That started happening during one of the filmings, and I thought maybe something was physically wrong with you.
I
It was,
do not have Tourette's. I
I
do
was
not.
like, is she okay? And I was like, but then I saw Carrie looking at you, tilting her head, like, okay. And I was like, oh, I see what's going on here.
I think another thing is that Carrie and I have known each other for maybe a year or a year and a half,
Mm,
but we have some amazing connections.
mm,
Amazing connections, and I think that there's a lot of unspoken communication between Carrie and myself. And Carrie, I think you'll agree. So when I do give Carrie a look and a hand wave, maybe she does know she's going to step out of frame or that I'm going to move behind her or whatever. But again, doing it quietly, all so that we don't interrupt your flow. We don't want you saying, "Oh, oh, what are you doing?" You know what I mean? So if we can
yeah, I'll be fine. I'll be fine. I think it's important that you just be yourselves. And I think I've said this before. If you make a sound, if you're in the frame, who cares? I mean, I certainly don't care.
Okay.
Let's
I was
just be
cutting myself out.
ourselves as we go through the walk. I'll be able to do what I do once I get my connection going and everything. I'll be fine. Just be yourselves. That's all I ask.
So, of the few walks that we've done so far, what what is your favorite? I don't want to say favorite moment, maybe favorite takeaway from any one of the locations.
Well, there's been in a couple of the places that we've been in so far, it's been a similar situation where I felt like the energy that I connected with was actually able to take that deep breath, that relax, that sigh that says, finally. Finally, I've been able to say what I needed to say. One of them, it really got under my skin. And it was a little emotional for me for a few days afterwards because I felt that. The other location was a really lovely lady that had jumped in, and she was just so happy to be able to let her family know she's with them every single day, and she couldn't be more proud of them if they tried. I love the connection with people, and I love that they're actually able to share their voice with me, doing that for them, because I think doing that allows me more to have more understanding about the world around us and how all this works. And while I'll never have the answers completely, I feel like I've got a little bit more understanding about it. So that's really it.
Well, I thank you for sharing your knowledge and wisdom because I think as you share information, people learn. It's about learning, so thank you for sharing what you've got. And again, thank you for setting up this vision of the walk. I think I have been amazed at every one I've gone to because like I said, I'm the one that knows a little bit about the background of where we're going. So but again, Christy, I know you and I really have a lot of faith in your abilities. And also, one of the things that I would like to say is that Christy is really good at setting up her boundaries, and knowing when to say, I'm done. I need to stop. Okay, that's enough. Let's stop before we get too drained or before, so I really admire that. And some of these qualities I'm really trying to use myself because it's a lot of it is about protection and
Yeah,
Not.
that there's a lot that goes into it. It's not just my boundaries, but I'm also having to monitor the boundaries around y'all that are there with me. I got to make sure you're safe and that we don't overstep. And I don't know when it's time for me to stop, though. I got to give props to my mentor about that because she was like, "You got to know your point." And when you're really tuned in, it's extremely draining. As anybody who does this knows, you don't have a lot of energy. And you might spend 2 or 3 days on downtime after you do a walkthrough because, you're exhausted. It takes every part of you, head to toe, heart, soul, everything to be able to do these things. And yeah, so I told you in the beginning, I said we can limit it to about an hour, maybe, because depending on where we go and how much is coming at me, it might be overwhelming. But I've got to listen to my body and I've got to shut it down. That's the only way I'll be able to keep doing this.
So good boundaries, but also going back to what you had said earlier, it's so important to have a good time. And I had that's my Auntie Kathy. She loves me, kiddo. I am her favorite oldest niece, and I just had to say thank you for watching, Auntie Kathy. I really appreciate that. And Auntie Kathy is also the mother of Lizzie Lou Studio. So,
Yeah.
um, but Chrissy, I also wanted to say what you were saying earlier. It's like we do have to be ourselves, and we have to have a good time. And another takeaway I've had, we have worked very, very hard at every walk that we've done. And I also think that we've had moments where we have laughed uncontrollably till the tears were. So we've had that balance.
And it's important to have that. That's, one thing that when I do events and things like that, I do goofy stuff. Like I have people go, yeehaw out loud. Just something fun. Because what we want to do is raise our vibration. And we also want the energies around us to feel, all right, they're not a threat. If we're laughing around, they're probably laughing around with us. Once we create that positive atmosphere, the possibilities become endless.
I love that. I just love when you begin with a positivity, and you keep that going and have the laughs in the middle of the serious moment. You know what? It doesn't having a laugh during a serious event doesn't make the serious event any less serious.
Yeah.
And you've got to have that balance for your sanity, for your energy, for to release and let go a little bit.
Yeah.
So I want to talk. I want to talk about the walk. I really want to talk about the very first episode of the walk.
Mm.
Gospel, you guys. This one's going to be a doozy. I'm going to show you a clip that Christy prepared. I've got to give you a little bit of background. Kristen, who is Carrie's sister, like I said, Kristen and Carrie met over, or pardon me, Kristen and Christy met
Yes.
over a year ago,
You're
and they were talking about Christy was going to go to Kristen's and do a walkthrough before you had kind of formulated the idea for the show. Okay,
exactly.
did you meet on social media?
I believe it was Carrie
Oh, okay.
that introduced us because Carrie is Kristen's sister. And so Carrie kept telling me about her sister and stuff, and I should go to her house. And then we Facebooked each other back and forth and made the phone call and talked with each other. She didn't tell me anything except, there's something here. Not sure what's going on. And I was like, well, don't say a word. And I kept picking up like pictures and in my mind, like flashes of people and situations and voices and things like that. I was talking to her on the phone. I was telling her these things. I said, I want to come up and figure this out. So we did plan it a year ago, and you'll see by the clip what actually happened.
So this I had filmed with Kristen not that long ago. This was one of our interviews for the walk, and yeah, in Kristen's words, you are going to care.
Me that she was really sensing a lot of
Oh, that's from the very beginning. And those are actual EVPs that we recorded when we were at Gospel in the back.
Wow.
We got a lot of them.
The first time Christy was supposed to come up, this is a year ago now, she was telling me that she was really sensing a lot of uneasy presence, a lot of kind of like angry energy. And she was really concerned for me and my family and really wanted to come up and meet with the spirit here and also find some intention, because she, like I said, she felt that it was very angry and negative, and that really had concerned her. So she had continued speaking with me about this and kind of forewarned me that I should be paying attention to some of the energy within the household and what was happening as she would be preparing and getting ready to come up. We said goodbye for the day. And the next morning, I was in a terrible accident and not able to meet up with her. I had to call her and cancel. I called her from the hospital. Long story short, we rescheduled all of that. But she was very concerned because she really had a very strong sense that that incident had been connected to the other energy that was being stirred up.
Debuted 3rd at 7 p.m.
Yeah.
So I just think that story is fascinating. So Christy was going to go to Kristen's, and the night before she was supposed to go, Kristen had a terrible accident. And how did
it's not the first time anything like that's happened before I went to a walkthrough of a property either.
Mm-hmm.
This happens a lot.
What was your first response when you heard from Kristen?
Well, my first response is I just want to make sure that they're okay. The rest of us will figure out, but I want them to be safe. That's all. And so I was glad she was going to be. It's a little bit, she got hurt a little bit, not terribly, but you know, she made it through it. And then we reconnected a little bit later on, briefly, here and there, just checking on her. But then when this all came about, that was one of the first places that I wanted to go because I never got to. And so I'm really glad that we were able to set this up and I could walk in there and do this the way that I wanted to do it a year ago. So, thank you.
It was a great, I think, like inaugural spot for us to go to, a good first location.
Yeah.
Without telling anybody too much about it, because we want you to all be surprised, but it was a good first location.
It really was. And, you know, we had, you know, roughly an hour that we went through, and that's about all I could take. And we did not go through the entire building. There's so much more that we haven't seen. And I don't want to know anything about it because we're going to go back and we're going to show different sections of this property. So I'm excited about that.
Well, I am too. I can't wait to get back. But the other thing about the walk, I think quite a few places that we go are going to require a part 2 or a follow-up or something as the research comes out or as more experiences come out. What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, I don't know why it wouldn't. If we're really doing our job and doing the best we can, you know, and I've always said that if we come across a property or homeowner that's having difficulty, while we're not a paranormal investigation, we're not going to give up on you. We're going to get the people in there to investigate, to document it, and to try to find some kind of solution. to try to help you deal with what's going on in your home. And I know that there's probably going to be places coming up that we're going to go to that's going to need that. So that's why I have lots of great friends who know exactly what they're doing, that'll go in and take care of it.
I think that's also such an important piece of any type of paranormal investigating is a follow through. If a follow through needs to be done, some type of resolution. What would you what types of incidents would you think of following through, or what type of activity would you want to follow through with a
Well,
family or a location?
I'm going to follow it regardless. I'm going to check in, it'll be some time, but I'm going to pick up and I'm going to check in with them and just kind of see if everything's going well, how they're doing. Because when I go, I'm invested in making sure that they're okay. What kind would warrant it? I really believe that families that are physically being attacked by something they can't see, whether it be their mental stability, their psychological welfare and all of that, if they're being attacked that way by spirit, then there definitely needs to be further evaluation, and there needs to be follow-up to make sure everything's okay. And there are those cases out there that are just dangerous. And, while we want to be the heroes of the day, it takes an army sometimes to go up against something that's negative in nature. And we want to make sure that we put the right people in place to start the battle.
Yeah, I think we have a location coming up that you know that we've got a good team put together, and it's going to be all hands on deck for this one. You know the one I'm talking about, coming up in July. Carrie will be there, Sue and Nathan will be there, me and you, but it's gonna be an all hands on deck thing, and we know that, and I think we're ready for it. But again, Christy, thank you so much for just sharing your wisdom and your vision of the walk. And I love that ultimately the ultimate goal. I keep saying we need to come up with a mission statement. We really do. Ultimately, the goal is to help people, and I just love that. I just love that. What else would you like to add about the walk? Is there anything we haven't covered on the walk during this conversation?
Well, I don't want to let all the secrets out of the bag.
Right.
But I don't know. I just hope that when this actually premieres in August, that everybody will just take the time to sit back on Sunday night in their living rooms or at home and kind of watch. And we want you to take the walk with us. Get your notepads out. Start jotting down the things that come into your mind and stuff as we're going through. Do some additional research if you want to. Kind of make it a project of your own. If these places are available for investigators to go to and they want to offer it for people, that's great. We'll keep you posted on that. But this is right now not an investigation. This is legitimately just the initial assessment. This is the walk. And I'm glad you're hopefully going to take that walk with me. We've got some really great places to show you.
Well, that's why we're following you around with the camera. Can I just, I'd like to say something here. Sue and Nathan, are you watching? And Sue and Nathan, if you're watching, can you please look at the comment that's on the screen from Gina Maria? Okay. Now, Gina, don't say anything. Okay. But the last time that I went to where we're going tonight with Sue and Nathan, Gina Maria was with us. And this was probably a good 8 months ago. I haven't spoken one single word. I haven't had one interaction with Gina since that night. And Gina, don't say where it is because Christy doesn't know. But Gina, I can't believe that you're watching the show today. And I'm going back to that location. And I haven't spoken one word with Gina.
Yeah.
Gina's one of those friends that, and once a year we pop up and we're like, hey, you want to do something? Yeah, sure. And then we don't see each other for a year and we pick up where we left off. That is crazy. I think
Mhm.
that kind of shows the journey that we're on here, doesn't it?
It's an amazing journey. I love it. It's the walk, and we walk through life and we encounter all these people all the time. Some of them are like our people. It's like they're our tribe, you
That's
know.
the word. Mhm.
And I love those beautiful moments when you actually are around like groups of people and you feel like yourself more than any other time. And it's okay. It's okay to say what you want to say. Be yourself. Go out there and do it. Go out there and take the walk.
Oh, thank you, Christy. Well, thank you for taking us on the walk with you. Oh,
Hmm.
what a great way to wrap that up. I can't tell you how humbled and grateful I am to be part of this vision with you. And I think that the other folks that are involved in this feel the same way. And again, I think we have a great team and a great crew. And we're going to have a lot of fun tonight. It's going to be a really good night tonight. You're going to have a good walk. I'm predicting that right now. So, Christy, did you want to add anything else before we start wrapping up about anything about yourself or about the walk or anything else?
Well, no, not really.
Okay.
I'm pretty set, I think, on what I got to say for right now. I'm
Okay.
in a whirlwind up here, and I
Mhm.
got to get shut down.
You do, and I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna be napping shortly. Well, Christy, I am gonna sign you off. I'm gonna stay on for a couple more minutes, folks. But Christy, I'm so grateful for your time this morning because I know how tired you are. Thank you for sharing your vision and your projects with us, and we can't wait to have you back on Gal's live stream. And I can't wait to see you this afternoon.
See you later.
All right, take it easy. Have your blindfold.
I got it.
Okay, all right.
Yes.
Bye bye, Christy. Thank you.
Bye.
Oh God, you guys, does it get any better than that on a Sunday morning gals coffee hour? No, it does not get any better than that. Mark is thanking Christy. Kerry, we know you're excited for tonight. Nathan is excited for tonight. Gina, I just think that is completely insane, Gina, that we haven't seen you in 8 months and you just pop up on this live stream and we're going to that place tonight. That's bonkers. So, but there you have it, everybody. That is kind of the 411 on the walk with Christy Parrish and the team. Those of us that are behind the scenes, me, Kerry, Sue, Nathan, Kelly is going to be behind the scenes. And yes, hello, Rebecca. Thank you for joining. Rebecca can't wait for the first episode of The Walk. Again, I think it's going to be August 27th, 7 p.m. We're releasing it on YouTube. I also want to say one last thing. Let me find. I want to remind folks that you all think you're my number one fan, but really Dixie Lou Who is my number one fan. And Dixie did have a stroke. So if you are ever of a mind, if you could, let's see, I have a link. I posted a link. Please go to GoFundMe and donate $1 if you can. We're trying to raise a couple bucks for some medical care for Dixie Lou, who has had a stroke. She had a stroke yesterday, and she's just one of those fantastic dogs that belongs to a wonderful human being, my good friend Mark Ramponi, the Reverend Mark. So I don't usually ask for money. I'm not asking for it for myself, and it's going to be a long time before I do ask for money again. And if you're not able to donate money, I do ask you to donate your time and say a prayer for Mark and Dixie. So again, thank you all very much, and you will find a link in the comments to the GoFundMe. Thank you all very much. And gee, on that note, I hope you all enjoyed this Sunday morning coffee hour. We are so grateful for Christy and her time and her knowledge. I'm so grateful for everybody who watched and commented, and I cannot wait to see you all again soon. I'm not quite sure I have what I have in store for next weekend, but it'll be something. You know me. Signing off for now, everybody. Thank you all very, very